Have you ever wanted to enter Boaz's private collection? Well, now you can with Boaz's private collection mystery box. Now available at AirsoftGI.com. Full of airsoft guns that Boaz has privately owned. What are you waiting for? Jump in to Boaz's private collection.
So, you have finally decided that you want to upgrade your airsoft gun. You want to get better trigger response, better rate of fire, higher FPS or lower FPS, and you think you can get away with that basic, lame trigger assembly that comes out of the box? Well, you're wrong! You need a MOSFET, and Gate has the solution. What's going on, you guys? Cisco here, and my boy Random Guy Kev hit me up and said, hey, you remember that video we did with the Perun MOSFETs? Well, Gate hit me up and they're asking if we could do a video on their MOSFETs, and then sent me every single MOSFET that Gate has to offer. And I'm going to do the service and disservice of oversimplifying all of these MOSFETs, but giving you all the information you need about each individual one of these. So let's get into it. First up on the list is going to be the most basic of MOSFETs, which is the Pico SR3. This allows you to run up to a 12.8 volt battery, which means you can run an 11-1 battery reliably, okay? It protects the motor connectors from burning out and regulates the electricity flow. Okay, do you know how many calls, how many DMs and questions we get asked saying, oh, my gun started acting weird, it shoots really weird, I use an 11-1. What kind of gun are you shooting? A gun without a MOSFET? Stop it. Get help. No. Get this MOSFET. It's $17 at AirsoftGI.com. Next two MOSFETs up on the list are going to be the Pico AAB and the Nano AAB. Both of these MOSFETs feature active braking and electronic fuse, can handle up to a 14.8 volt battery, and features debouncing. Unbouncing. Basically that means you can spam the trigger a little bit more reliably. And they're two different sizes. They offer the same features, but the Pico MOSFET here is for guns that have smaller battery space, like this QRF, which it's compatible with. And then the Nano is a little bit bulkier, so pick and choose. Now, the Nano ASR is more of a basic MOSFET. It features the electronic fuse, battery protection, and debouncing. But the Nano Hard is much different. You know, someone's called me Nano Hard before, I think. But I don't understand it because I'm fat. Well, anyways, the Nano Hard actually features a smart fuse. It has active braking, a built-in self-testing for diagnostics, and can handle up to a 14.8 volt battery, which is dope. The next MOSFET on the list is going to be the Murph 3.2. What does the number stand for? I don't know, but it features all of the features of the previous MOSFETs, but now has rate of fire control, a 3-round burst, a smart trigger, which allows you to achieve a faster trigger response. And if you're a meathead like Boaz,
hey,
what do you know how to wire in any of those other MOSFETs? Anyways, the Murph 3.2 is actually a plug-and-play MOSFET, so you don't have to do any soldering or extra wiring. You can plug it into the gun and run it without any issues. Moving on, we have the X ASR, and these features are getting a little bit more detailed, so I'm going to refer to my notes. The X ASR features a smart fuse, which has automatic resettable protection against reverse polarity. So that means if you plug in your battery backwards somehow, or you plug in your motor backwards somehow, the MOSFET will protect itself from blowing up the gun. And I sound surprised, but we've gotten DMs about this somehow. Other features that this MOSFET includes is debouncing, a built-in self-testing which allows you to check if the MOSFET is working, and a special conformal coating for resistance to atmospheric conditions. Why? You trying to play airsoft on Mount Everest? You trying to go to the moon, to Mars? Well, actually, there's no atmosphere on the moon, so it probably won't work. But yeah, X stands for Extreme Airsoft. Subscribe. What? Did you think I was gonna yell at you? No. Just subscribe. Okay? You wanna support us directly? Go to AirsoftGI.com. but subscribe. All right, so now we're starting to move into the Gucci MOSFET territory, which is gonna start off with the WARFET 1.1. Cool. Moving on, this MOSFET features precocking and is a plug-and-play MOSFET or hardwired. So again, if you're a bonehead like Boaz, you can easily plug this into your airsoft gun. It features a programmable burst mode, a 3-round burst, configurable fire selector, rate of fire control, the smart trigger, battery protection, smart fuse, electronic fuse. I don't know the difference between the two. Active braking, debouncing, the built-in self-testing, that atmospheric coating, and can support up to a 14.8 volt light bulb battery. On top of that, it includes a programming card, so you don't have to plug it into a computer to program it. You can take that card with you on the field, just slip that into your pocket, make sure it's a zipped one so you don't lose it, and then you can program it to whatever the field settings are. Fantastic! So now we're getting into Gate's premier top of the line MOSFETs, like the ASTER here. See, it's all in this all black box, so you know it's premium, right? But basically the ASTER is the WARFET, but as a trigger board. So basically what you're doing is taking the existing trigger assembly out and throwing this in. But it does feature a optical sensor, which allows up to 250 possible sensitivity configurations. On top of that, it is supported by Gate's software that is available via the app from phone or on your computer. So you can plug it in and you can actually get the diagnosis of your guns and fine-tune that sensitivity a little bit more for your airsoft pleasure.
That sounded so weird. Don't ever say that again.
Hey.
Don't ever say that again.
My favorite feature about the ASTER is that basically you can plug your airsoft gun into a computer and find out what's wrong with it. It makes life so much easier, just so much easier. It's just like you take the stick of butter out of the fridge and let it sit on the counter for 10 minutes to soften up before you put it on your toast. You know what I'm talking about. Oh guys, by the way, I forgot to mention that Gate actually made the quantum trigger to work with the ASTER, which will allow you to adjust the sensitivity of your trigger even more. Why? Because they can. And now you can. All right, guys, we're here. It's the MOSFET that you've been waiting to hear about. It's the MOSFET that every airsofter recommends, including myself. It's the Gate Titan. You suck. Shut the
Bruh.
Guys, you know it's premium because of that gold lettering and that all black box. You know, it just screams rich. It screams fancy. So you could just flex on all your friends and you pull up this packaging and just be like, hey, guess what I got? Bam, right there. So basically it's the ASTER, but it's not. Okay, let's go over all these details, referring to my notes. Now, the Titan is available for version 2 and version 3 gearboxes and the Tokyo Marui Next Gen Recoil Shock. Fancy. It features an ultra low power consumption, which will extend your battery life. It has optical sensors with all the adjustability of the ASTER, programmable fire modes and burst modes, including binary in a 2-stage trigger mode, precocking, active braking, magazine simulation that will give you a delay when a set amount of shots have been reached, because you couldn't do the bolt catch thing. All right, anyways, it also has a series safety limit to set a predefined number of shots fired in a single series, and it can be prevented against, I don't know, it says it can be used to protect against trigger jams, but it has active braking, so you don't have to worry about trigger jams. Whatever. Rate of fire control, smart trigger, smart fuse, battery protection, low battery warning, equalizer enables dynamic trigger point. Wow. Which allows for faster shooting. This is available in the advanced and expert firmwares of this. And it does have a cycle detection, which counts the teeth of the sector gear, which is allowed you to use a plethora of airsoft gears. So DSGs, high torque gears, high speed gears, regular speed gears, all of that. You can use it with this. You also have warning notification, and you have preset profiles to tune your gun to different play styles. So if you like CQB, you want a little bit more trigger response, or if you're trying to do a more DMR with a sniper delay, you can do that. You can set those profiles, so all you have to do is click, click, done. You also have Bluetooth compatibility with the app and the software. It also has software compatibility. I just said that. Firmware updates. They're constantly updating the firmware to make improvements so the overall usage of the MOSFET in your airsoft gun works better. It has diagnostic trouble codes, which means it'll tell you what's wrong with your airsoft gun. Gun statistics, meaning your battery consumption, how much the gun is drawing voltage-wise out of your battery, how many shots you fired overall, what's your average, yada, yada, yada. It's there. God, this list goes on. It also has built-in self-testing and that special conformal coating for atmospheric conditions and can support an 11-1 LiPo because it can support up to a 14.8 volt. Okay, this is the MOSFET of MOSFETs, and they also made special triggers under the Nova, which allows you to tune it even more. God, that was a mouthful. So earlier during my verbal diarrhea, I mentioned something about firmware, and that's because the Titan actually comes in different firmwares, and you can get the basic firmware, the advanced firmware, or the expert firmware, and you can buy one specifically, and it'll tell you on the box which version you're getting. But if you decide to upgrade later to the different firmware, you can do that through the software. But, you know, why would you buy expert firmware and go back to advanced? Don't do that. That's bad. Okay? Basically, what Gate did is they took gaming mentality marketing and brought it to airsoft. I didn't know that you can have a DLC airsoft gun. That's crazy. You know, all those battle passes, the season pass, the DLC, all of that. They brought it to airsoft. You know what? A company should come out with a DLC airsoft gun where they just send you one part at a time and you assemble the gun by yourself until you get a full airsoft gun. That'll be hilarious. So you can get the Titan with the basic firmware for about $90, the advanced firmware Titan for about $150, and the expert firmware with the Bluetooth adapter for about $200, all at airsoftgi.com. It's pay to win, guys. Why? Okay, so back in the day, guys, MOSFETs used to be a luxury item. But now that LiPo batteries are becoming more of a standard thing, it's kind of a requirement. And if you have an airsoft gun that doesn't have a MOSFET, at least get the basic Pico. It's 17 bucks, it'll protect your gun and increase the life of it. But if you want the best of the best, I'm just gonna say what every airsoft forum, every airsofter, every tech out there is gonna say, get the Gate Titan. Just get it. Like, you could turn the QRF here, compatible by the way, into a DMR, which it's a submachine gun. But you can do it. And if you wanted to take the SR25, a DMR, and have it shoot like a submachine gun, you can do it. Why would you want to do it? I don't know. But you can. All right, you guys, I hope that was very informative for you and you find the MOSFET that'll work perfect for your airsoft gun. All these are available at airsoftgi.com, so make sure you pick them up over there and pick up all the other upgrade parts that you need. Those gear sets, inner barrels, MOSFETs, Gate MOSFETs, and all the other stuff. Make sure you use the Wombo Combo for the best savings in airsoft, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, stop! Whoa! Oh, hey, what the? Stop! Give me that thing!
I'm wasting water.